Thank you, Lally. Did we warn you that this was going to be one of the most inspiring days of your year? And we're only just getting started. Here to introduce our investment spotlight, please welcome the president and CIO of our crowd, Andy Kay.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Summit 19. I'd like to go into a little bit of detail about our crowd, explain a little bit about what we do and how we're different. If you look around you, there's thousands of people from every corner of the globe. There's companies here from every single continent, and there's multinationals here from across the globe too. What we're doing is providing you access. We're providing you access to investments. For companies, we're providing them access to the investors, and to multinationals, we're providing them access to innovation. This is something which is really unique. What we've built is 3 layers of one of investors, one of companies, multinationals, and our financial partners. We're able to tie all of those together and to bring you a very unique product. Initially, when John founded our crowd, we invested in startups alone. But beyond that, we realized that some investors want to focus on specific areas. They want to have diversification to reduce their risk. So 3 years ago, we got into funds. So not only do we provide you today with companies, we also provide you with funds. Now those funds are in multiple areas. We follow the trends, we review what's new, and today, as you heard, we have an impact fund, we have a cannabis fund, we have the sports tech fund with Lead, our partner, which is the legacy of Adidas, the founder of Adidas, and we have our AI funds. So really what we're providing you is access to something very unique. But please don't take it for granted. It's not any fund or any company that we put on the platform. We have a team of 25 professionals that are constantly doing DD. We search almost every corner of the globe. We search all around Israel to find the very best investments. We do thorough DD, and only after we've approved those companies at our investment committee, we've approved the terms, do we put it on the platform. This is something which is very unique and very difficult. In addition to the funds I mentioned, we're also launching now our medical technology fund. This is something which is quite unique. We've made 24 investments to date, and I'd like to invite onto the stage Dr. Morris Laster, an extremely accomplished entrepreneur. He's had 6 exits. He's also led the team inside our crowd who have made our 24 investments to date. So with that, to introduce the MedTech Fund, Morris. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, John. Thank you, Andy. What I'd like to present to you, and I'm really excited about this, we finally get to launch our Crowd MedTech Fund. So when we look at what's going on in the world, we're going to be spending $8.7 trillion on healthcare next year. It's a big number. When we look at what's going on in the United States, for example, 45% of the population suffers from a chronic condition. What does that mean? It means we're living longer, but we're living sicker. So where are our solutions going to come from? Where are the technologies that are going to help us live longer and live better going to come from? Come from right here. In the past couple of years, Israel has produced over 130 life science companies per year. It's an amazing number. And not only have these technologies have been developed here, they've actually been pretty successful. We're looking at $19 billion in exits with 85 different companies and Israeli-based life science technologies responsible for those exits. It's an incredible statistic for such a small country. This is what we're going to do. We're going to invest in disruptive medical technologies, therapeutics that have the potential to move the bar as medicine is practiced and patients feel. We're not looking at incremental improvements. We're looking at those things, like you saw earlier, that will change how people feel, how people function, how healthcare is practiced. Why do we want to launch a fund? We get to have a dedicated platform for investing in new medical technologies through our crowd. Investors get to have a chance for instant diversification into a number of different Israeli life science companies and technologies. And it enables us as our team, which we've been working together for a number of years now, and I'll have a call out to Dr. Mori Blumenfeld, Professor Chaim Lotan, and Jonathan Wiesen. Allows us the flexibility to actually do much more and much better, leveraging the fund in addition to the Our Crowd platform to help develop Israeli medical technologies. We look at about 400 companies a year and invest in only about 4 to 5. So it's actually a very, very strict funnel. And as I said earlier, we're focused on disruptive technologies. And it can be a medical device, it can be a therapeutic, it can be a core technology or a diagnostic. We will not invest in incremental improvements, but again, disruptive medical technologies. We've made $78 million in investments to date on the platform, 24 different companies, some of whom you've had the chance to see here today. And it's amazing to actually see the progression. We take, for example, when we invested in Up and Ride, it was just paper. It was literally at the level of blueprint drawings. And to see Tamir walk ride up here was just an incredible event for me. We've been working together for a number of years as a team, and we have the benefit and the power of the Our Crowd platform behind us. 30,000 investors, all the legal and financial prowess that this platform has to offer. What I'd like to ask you is to help us invest in these medical technologies and enable a lifetime of living well and living longer. Thank you.
Thank you, Morris. I'd now like to introduce Dr. Chen Barak, founder of Nanomedic. Nanomedic is really creating an exciting handheld electrospinning device which provides a cover for open wounds and burns. Please. Toda.
So, good morning. Please take a look. You probably know this person. His name is Dan Ariely, and he is a Duke professor for psychology and behavioral economy. Those of you who had a chance to hear him talk probably know his story, his actually terrifying story about the day he got burned as a teenager. Dan often refers to his own experience and practically talks about the immensely painful dressing change he had to go through daily in the hospital, ripping off his tissue over and over again. So my name is Chen, and I am the CEO of Nanomedic Technologies. We have come up with a device that enables sort of printing a transient skin layer in real time. This layer remains on the wound throughout the healing process. No need to remove and no need to replace. Basically avoiding this immense pain referred by Dan and changing the way millions of people around the world are being treated. So this is the spinker. All you have to do is take a disposable ampoule, put it in, and create a very thin layer of nanofibers. Nanofibers that mimic the structure of the human tissue, allowing mobility for the patients and allowing them regular showers. So I'm sure many of you know this science fiction series, the Star Trek, and probably have seen before their medical ray gun that they use to heal wounds. So science fictions or not, I'm sure that the spinker is going down that road. I would like to invite you to visit us in our booth to hear more, to see it in action, or drop by to the demo theater in the afternoon to see how we demonstrate the device. Thank you very much.
Thank you to them. I'd like now to introduce two additional opportunities which we've decided to invest in. One is cyber MDX. Unfortunately, it's no longer a dream or far-fetched that someone could call us and say, if you don't transfer money to my account, I'm going to turn off your pacemaker. Such a cyber threat today, not only for personal devices, but also for medical devices in hospitals. It's become extremely real. And the threat is so significant that really, and hospitals are so antiquated in their systems that they need to deploy a solution. Cyber MDX has come with a very precise product for that universe and is able to provide cyber protection for hospitals and individual users. The company utilizes artificial intelligence to map out threats, to map out the devices, and provide a real solution. Now, this also enables hospitals to maintain close contact and understand what's happening with their patient safety and able to provide operating continuity in the hospitals. This is extremely important, and the company has a very specific tailored solution for this. You'll be seeing it in the next couple of weeks on our website. It's not there yet, but please do look out for this. In addition, I'd like to introduce Fortellix, which you can see on the site. Now, Fortellix is founded by a group of seasoned entrepreneurs, some of them actually who I took public in their previous company, which was later sold to Cadence. So they're very successful. It turns out that when we're sitting in autonomous cars, the main thing that all of us are concerned about is safety, and rightly so. In order to create the multiple scenarios, if cars were to drive or would need to drive over 161 million miles to get 20% better response rate for accidents. In order to get a 20% rate, a better rate for prevention of fatality in cars, they would need to drive over 11 billion miles, which is totally unheard of. It would take too long. In order to solve it, Fortellix has come with a solution to enable you to synthesize and create multiple scenarios so that our onboard computers can have responses and will make the cars safe. So it's providing really a faster ability to simulate multiple scenarios through their framework and tools, providing a flexible and multi-dimensional tool for the cars and the OEMs. It's on our website, as are all these other opportunities. So please go to ourcrowd.com, click the boxes, type your name and email, and click submit. Thank you very much.
Okay, good. Thank you. Okay, we're almost done with the plenary, and then you'll be able to get out there and get the food and go see these live demos. But just before we're ending, I would like to bring up Eric Nakfa, who is the CEO of our Chinese unicorn, a wonderful company called Klook. Give it up for Eric. So,
Hi.
Eric, how long has it taken you to get to the unicorn status?
Well, it's just been about 4 years since we started in Hong Kong. So last year we actually hit our one major milestone. We hit $1 billion of revenue, and that goes with a
$1 billion of revenue. That's a double unicorn, not just value, but revenue. That's great. What do you sell for $1 billion?
Yeah, so we are actually in a very kind of niche segment of a travel space, but it turns out it's actually not that niche. We sell travel in-destination services. So what that means are basically the tours, the activities, excursions, to all the way to local transportation like railways, to food and restaurants. So basically all the services that the traveler need when they arrived at the destination. So we make those services nowadays easily bookable on mobile.
I mean, what an unreally great idea. I mean, everybody knows to go online and buy air tickets and buy hotels.
Yes.
But what about all the other stuff? So you handle everything?
Right, everything else. So from the moment you step down, you want a private airport transfer, or is it that railway that goes from the airport to the city, and then you check into your hotel, which is probably one of those other OTAs, but then all the excursions. Basically, all the fun things to do now is available within a few taps on mobile.
And so I've heard a secret, by the way. I don't know how many of you are from Hong Kong. How many Hong Kong people are there in the audience? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so my understanding is you've got a special deal with the MTR, with the Hong Kong Railway?
Yeah, well, with the MTR, which is the Airport Express operator in Hong Kong, so we actually help them digitize their whole ticketing system. Instead of having a physical tap, but you need to redeem for that physical card, now you can basically scan the QR code on your mobile phone at the gate and off you go. So you can also even just buy it when you already arrived at the airport rather than kind of pre-booking everything, which is really the mission of what we want to do, is to make travel free and easy rather than everything is kind of planned and cookie cutter.
So everybody who basically is going to go visit in Hong Kong or other parts of Asia, this whole audience could use Klook and save money and get better attractions.
Yeah, well, I would say on top of Asia, we've also now expanded into Europe and US. You can do the same with London, accessing the Heathrow Express with a QR code rather than lining up and buying that ticket. So we're bringing that services around the world.
And you're now operational in London. Any cities in the US yet?
Yeah, well, we now cover actually 200 cities around the world. So basically you can have access to those services basically globally.
And what's the next step? I mean, I know you're growing really fast. I mean, $1 billion of revenue in 4 years is pretty awesome. What's next?
Well, we have been focused on Asian travelers from China, from Korea, from Southeast Asia. We are now expanding into Europe and US. So European travelers traveling, whether it's to Asia or within Europe or to the US, will be our next target.
So you've got, by the way, I think in addition to us, a whole bunch of really impressive investors. Goldman Sachs, Sequoia,
Yep.
Matrix, and our crowd. How is it working with us? How has it been? Are we in that league?
Well, absolutely. Well, on that note, I would like to actually give a special thanks to our early investor, Francis and Fidia from Hong Kong, for introducing us to our crowd, and thank you, our crowd, for the support all along for the past 2 years, actually, since we've been working together. I would say one word really sums up kind of the experience that we've been having with our crowd is creating value. And I think the way that you guys do it is very different from the other VCs that we have in place, the Sequoia, the Matrix, the Goldman Sachs. You guys give us access to a network of some of the most fascinating, successful business people, investors, who we really have been having a lot of fun speaking to them, exchanging ideas, and actually pushing through some of the most impactful business initiatives. So speaking to people of like-minded people is a lot more impactful than just kind of a check on the table, I would say. And that's really what we really appreciate.
We appreciate you.
Thank
We're
you.
looking forward to the rest of the journey. Give it up for Eric Nutfa from Klook. Thank you.